Friday, and Taiwan continues to support, continues its support of the agricultural sector here on Nevis. Regionally, Hurricane Maria caused an estimated 2,975 deaths in Puerto Rico, new study finds. Internationally, Russia's Putin softens pension reforms after outcry, and in sports, Warriors defeat Patriots and now at the head of the Hero CPL table. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this short break.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back and on to our national news segment. Nevis will on Friday, 31st August, have a new Deputy Governor General. Mrs. Hyleta Miranda Liebert will replace Mrs. Marjorie Morton, who has held the position since September 1st, 2017. The announcement was made this morning by Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley at his monthly press conference held at the Social Security Building at Pinney's Estate. Premier Brantley said this was necessitated after Mrs. Morton informed that she would demit office on Friday, 31st August 2018.
She has certainly served us well in the period of time that she's been there as Deputy Governor, and I want to extend my warmest appreciation and gratitude to her for her service and to wish her well in her future endeavors.
A swearing-in ceremony for Mrs. Liebert will be held on Friday, 31st August at the courthouse in Charlestown at 10:30 a.m. Mr. Brantley welcomed the Cabinet's decision to have Mrs. Liebert taking up the position as Deputy Governor General for Nevis.
Mrs. Liebert, I hope, will be welcomed by all, and I know that she will do a good job. She has the necessary temperament, she has the necessary education, she has the necessary background. She has worked with people all of her life, and I think she will do an excellent job as the new Deputy Governor General for Nevis, following in the footsteps of those who would have gone before.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The new ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis from the Republic of China, Taiwan, Tom Chi Chang Lee, made his maiden visit to the island of Nevis yesterday, August 28, 2018. While on his visit to Nevis, Ambassador Lee, who has only been in the position for 2 weeks, donated a number of items to the Department of Agriculture. The equipment include 2 tractors, 2 pickup trucks, and 1 vehicle donated to the Premier's ministry. The vehicles have an estimated value of some $1.5 million. Meantime, a check of $15,000 was handed over to the Ministry of Agriculture. These monies will be used to purchase a walk-in freezer for the agro-processing unit to be used in an effort to secure a significant market for the mango pulp. And the Montpelier plantation in here on Nevis has been given recognition for their honeymoon packages. The hotel has made its way onto Bride's magazine list of world's best 100 honeymoon destinations for 2018. The Montpelier Plantation and Beach Club is ranked 65 on the list. In its description, the magazine said, and I quote, "If you have a soft spot for sea turtles, exotic birds, or simply want to escape on a palm-fringed beach, jet away to Nevis, a tiny Caribbean island in the West Indies beside St. Kitts that celebrates the good life." The statement continued, "Dive at Booby High Shoals, hike Mount Nevis, bike along Bougainvillea, and spy on hummingbirds. It's all doable, that is, from the romantic grounds of Montpelier Plantation and Beach, an ultra-relaxing 5-star hotel on a former sugar plantation." End quote. The hotel is surrounded by 60 acres of lush tropical gardens and built around one of Nevis's original 18th century sugar plantation. And the Deputy Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, has expressed his satisfaction with the pace of construction for the Newcastle Police Station. Mr. Jeffers said that there has been steady progress since Cabinet visited the site 4 months ago. Construction of the new $3.7 million Newcastle Police Station began in January 2018 with funding from the Nevis Island Administration. The 15,312 square foot project is expected to be completed by July 2019. Minister Jeffers expressed the hope that the federal government would assist with funding since national security fell under its purview, even though the Nevis Island Administration has provided funds for the project thus far. The police station will replace a steel frame building which housed the Newcastle Police Station. In 2016, it was considered unfit for humans to live and work in and was condemned and subsequently demolished. Police officers stationed there were deployed temporarily at a rented building adjacent to the Vance W. Amory International Airport along the Island Main Road. On completion, the two-story building will house officers from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services. And over $250,000 was paid out during Culturama during the Culturama prize-giving ceremony. That's according to Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The Culturama prize-giving ceremony was held last Saturday, August the 25th, and saw the winners of pageants, contests, etc. during the Culturama season receiving their prize monies. In the wake of this, Nevis' Minister of Culture, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, will hold a press conference at the Cultural Village in Charlestown at 9:30 a.m. The Culturama 44 was held from July 26, 2018 to August 7, 2018 and has had as its theme Fet, Food and Folklore, Culturama 44. And in police news, a pistol which was found at the scene of a fatal shooting incident on Monday night, August 27th, was taken into police custody. The .32 pistol was found at the scene in Pine Gardens, Bastille on August 25th, where 32-year-old Michael Labard, the Federation's 20th homicide victim and son of the Honorable Ian Pattis Labard, was shot and killed. The firearm is currently being processed at the forensic department along with other items of evidential value. To date, this is the 22nd firearm to be taken into police custody. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. And finally, in our national news segment, the Prime Minister's monthly press conference will be held on Thursday, August 30th at 3 p.m. at the Parliamentary Lounge at Government Headquarters in Bastille. At the forum, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris will seek to update citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis on matters of national interest. Initially, the press conference was slated for today, August 29th, but according to a release from the Office of the Prime Minister, the conference was rescheduled. The press conference will be broadcasted live on national media and attended by press corps who will seek to ask questions for the benefit of the listening and viewing public. That concludes our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or visit our social media pages at YouTube and Facebook for these and other stories. Regional news comes up next.
This summer, the Bank of Nevis Limited offers you sizzling hot vacation loans. Come and experience summer like never before with our easy-to-access summer vacation loan. Get up to $15,000 unsecured with up to 2 years to repay. Take a trip, experience the world, or participate in our very own Culturama. Enjoying your vacation has never been easier with a relaxing vacation loan from the Bank of Nevis Limited. My bank, your bank, our bank. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook.
Welcome back and onto our regional news segment. Out of Puerto Rico. Hurricane Maria killed far more people in Puerto Rico than the official estimates, according to a new study which puts the death toll on the island from September 2017 through February 2018 at an estimated 2,975. The independent analysis was commissioned by the governor of Puerto Rico and conducted by researchers at George Washington University's Milken Institute School of Public Health, CBS News reported. To arrive at the 2,975 figure, the study looked at historical death patterns from 2010 to 2017 to estimate how many people would have died had Hurricane Maria not hit the island. That figure was then compared to the actual number of deaths from September 2017 through February 2018, which were obtained in records provided by the Vital Statistics Records Division of the Puerto Rico Department of Health. Puerto Rico's government initially reported 64 deaths blamed on the hurricane. Since then, several studies have indicated the actual death toll was much higher, though researchers have arrived at a range of different figures. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rosello has accepted the findings of the report and is raising the official death toll from the storm from 64 to 2,975. Rosello is expected to sign an executive order that will create a commission to implement recommendations made in the report. And the Caribbean Development Bank has approved a grant of US $3 million to cover Haiti's 2018-2019 insurance premiums with CCRIF SPC, the company that provides parametric insurance coverage to the Caribbean and Latin America. The bank's funding will help the country meet the cost of the premiums for tropical cyclone, earthquake, and excess rainfall coverage, to which the government of Haiti will contribute up to US $1.8 million. CBD's Director of Projects, Daniel Best, said that among the bank's 19 borrowing member countries, Haiti is one of the most vulnerable to natural hazards. Given the country's fragility and high vulnerability to natural hazards, in its 2017-2021 country strategy for Haiti, CDB committed to continue paying the country's annual CCRIF SPC premiums. To date, Haiti has received 4 payouts, one after the 2010 earthquake, which amounts to US $7.7 million, 2 following Hurricane Matthew in October 2016, which amounted to US $20.39 million under the tropical cyclone policy, and US $3.02 million under the excess rainfall policy, and US $162,000 in 2017 for Hurricane Irma. The latter was paid out under the aggregated deductible cover, which provides a minimum payment for events that are objectively not sufficient to trigger the CCRIF SPC policy. And news out of St. Lucia. 3 United States carriers, American Airlines, JetBlue, and United Airlines, are boosting flights to St. Lucia starting in the fall. The St. Lucia Tourism Authority, SLTA, says that JetBlue is expanding its luxury Mint service in the Caribbean and will launch this service and flights from Boston, Logan International Airport to St. Lucia starting November 3, 2018. The airline will also resume its Mint service on Saturday flights from New York's JFK Airport to St. Lucia starting February 2019. According to acting CEO at the SLTA, Tiffany Howard, said the authority recognizes the importance of airlift to grow the tourism sector and has been working hard to get more flights into the Eastern Caribbean island. United Airlines Saturday-only flights from Chicago O'Hare will operate starting January 5, 2019 through April 30, 2019. American Airlines previously announced that it will add a new daily flight into St. Lucia from Miami, Florida, beginning December 19, 2018. And finally, in our regional news segment, in news out of Trinidad. As Trinidad and Tobago is about to celebrate its 56th anniversary, the political independence, its state-owned oil refinery company, Petrotrin, which has employed thousands of permanent and contract workers over the last decades, will now be shutting down in the near future, according to Petrotrin officials and government ministers. Petrotrin is a state-owned enterprise in the integrated oil and gas industry. Petrotrin has played a pivotal role in the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, and its closing may mean that the subsidies on petroleum and oil-based products enjoyed by residents will inevitably come to an end. All 1,700 jobs in refining will be terminated. The Point-a-Pierre South Trinidad refinery was built by Petrotrin's predecessor Trinidad Lease Hose Limited, TLL, in 1917. Petrotrin has lost a total of about Trinidad and Tobago $8 billion in the last 5 years. Is Trinidad and Tobago $12 billion in debt, and owes the government of Trinidad and Tobago more than Trinidad and Tobago $3 billion in taxes and royalties. That concludes our regional news segment. International news comes up next. Welcome back and on to our international news segment. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has softened planned pension charges following angry protests and a slump in his approval rating. He said the retirement age for women would be increased to 55, that is from 55 to 60 instead of to 63. But a 5-year increase for men to 65 would stay. In a rare TV address, Mr. Putin said the country's working age population was shrinking, making change essential. Unions have warned that many will not live long enough to claim a pension. Russian men have a life expectancy of 66, while for women it is 77, the World Health Organization says. The issue has seen support for Mr. Putin fall to 64% from 80%, according to VT's IOM state pollster. And in news out of the U.S., U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that his policies will be violently overturned if the Democrats win November's midterm elections. He told evangelical leaders that the vote was a referendum on freedom of speech and religion, and that these were threatened by violent people. He appealed to conservative Christian groups for help, saying they were one vote away from losing everything. Midterm elections are widely seen as a test of the president's popularity. Mr. Trump has been battling negative publicity after his ex-lawyer and former campaign chief were convicted earlier this month. During the meeting, Mr. Trump said the midterm elections were not just a referendum on him, but also on your religion. It's a referendum on free speech and the First Amendment. And Argentina's government has unexpectedly asked for the early release of a $50 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund. An economic crisis has led to rampant inflation, and the Argentine peso has lost 40% of its value so far this year. In a televised address, President Mauricio Macri said quicker access to the funds would eliminate uncertainty and restore market confidence. However, there are concerns that Argentina cannot repay this heavy borrowing. When the terms of the loan were agreed in May, President Macri said he expected the economy to recover and did not plan to use the money. Argentina, which has been plagued by economic problems for years, asked for assistance from the IMF in May after its currency hit an all-time low. And finally, in our international news segment, out of the UK, more than a fifth of 14-year-old girls in the UK said they had self-harmed, a report suggests. The survey of 11,000 children found 22% of the girls and 9% of the boys said they had hurt themselves on purpose in the year prior to the questionnaire. Rates of self-harm were worse, 46%, among those who were attracted to people of the same or both genders. The Children's Society report said gender stereotypes and worries about the Children's Society report said gender stereotypes and worries about looks were contributing to unhappiness. These self-harm statistics are included in the charity's annual Good Childhood report, which examines the state of children's well-being in the UK. Self-harm is when people hurt themselves as a way of dealing with difficult feelings, painful memories, or overwhelming situations and experiences. That concludes our international news segment. The latest in sports comes up next.
It's spring season at TDC, and you have VIP access to TDC Home and Building Depot's Furniture Fest. Get 25% off all furniture cash or hire purchase and save even more on our Furniture Fest cash specials. After all that fetting, come home and relax in affordable quality, comfort, and style. Pay your way and save big on your living room, dining room, or bedroom set in TDC Home and Building Depot's Furniture Fest. See stores for details. Terms and conditions apply.
If you come to Fest, I come to Fest, she come to Fest, we come to Fest.
Welcome back and on to our sporting news segment. In cricket, Imran Tahir's 4-wicket burst and Shoaib Tanir's late fireworks with the bat saw Guyana Amazon Warriors to a thrilling 4-wicket Caribbean Premier League CPL victory over St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots at the Warner Park in Bastille last evening, Tuesday 28 August 2018. The Warriors are now well placed at the lead of the Hero CPL table alongside Trinbago Knight Riders and Jamaica Talawas on 8 points. Scores are as follows. Guyana Amazon Warriors won 96 for 6. Tanir's 37 not out. Mohammed 36. Brathwaite 2 for 23. Cumming 2 for 36. Beat St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots 168 for 7. Gale 40. Devchich 35. Imran Tahir 4 for 22 by 4 wickets with 1 ball remaining. The next games are slated for this evening at 8 at Kenningston Oval, Barbados, with the Barbados Tridents taking on the Jamaica Talawas. And then on Thursday, August 30th, we'll see the St. Kitts Nevis Patriots versus the St. Lucia Stars at 6 p.m. at Warner Park. And in athletics, Dina Asher-Smith will try to crown her season with the 100-meter Diamond League title in Zurich on Thursday. Asher-Smith, 22, has won 3 European golds and Commonwealth bronze this year. She will race against the Netherlands' Daphne Schiffers, who will also run the 200 meters final in Brussels on Friday. Britain's Reese Prescott and CJ Uja will face American Christian Coleman in the 100 meters. The finals in 32 events are being split between Thursday's meeting in Zurich and Friday's in Brussels. There is a prize of $50,000 for each final winner. And in football, former Juventus midfielder Ronaldo Mandagaro has been suspended for 1 Serie A game after he was caught on television cameras shouting "Parca Modana Vavanculo Dio Cane," an insult to the Virgin Mary, while also referring to God as a dog. The outburst from the Italy international came after Sampdoria goalkeeper Emile Eduro saved his shot in a game which Mandagaro's side, Udinese, won 1-0. A disciplinary report from the Liga Serie A said, and I quote, "After acquiring and examining the relevant television images, the player, while cursing without referring to anybody around him, was nevertheless clearly seen by the television images to make blasphemous remarks visibly identifiable from reading his lips without any margin for reasonable doubt. The remarks initially went unnoticed by officials during the match, but the Liga Serie A, the competition's governing body, later took the incident to review and suspended the 21-year-old. And finally, in our sporting news segment, in tennis, Novak Djokovic struggled in the New York humidity before recovering to beat Hungary's Marton Fucsovics in the US Open first round at Flushing Meadows. Djokovic, aiming for a 14th Grand Slam title, won 6-3, 3-6, 6-4, 6-0. The Serb, 31, was unsteady on his feet and asked for a sick bucket to be put next to his chair in the second set. Fucsovics then faded and Djokovic won the last 10 games, with the players taking a 10-minute heat break between the third and fourth sets. It was the first time US Open organizers implemented an extreme heat policy in men's matches. Meantime, six-time champion Serena Williams made her return to the US Open with a clinical first-round win over Poland's Magda Linette. Williams, 36, missed her home slam last year, giving birth to daughter Olympia shortly after the tournament started. Opening Monday night's session at Arthur Ashe Stadium, she won 6-4, 6-0 against her 68th ranked opponent. The 17th seed will meet Germany's Karnia Withoft in the second round. Williams is still on course to meet older sister Venus in the third round, although the prospect of facing world number 1 Simona Halep, her projected last 16 opponent, has disappeared after the Romania's shock defeat by Estonia's Kia Kanepi. And that concludes our sporting news segment. The latest in the weather is next. And your weather forecast for this evening. Tonight, generally cloudy skies with periodic showers and a moderate chance of thunderstorms. The winds will be easterly with speeds ranging between 19 to 33 kilometers per hour or 10 to 18 knots with higher gusts during showers. Seas are moderate with significant wave heights of 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect for the coastal waters on the Atlantic side of the islands. Your sunrise for tomorrow will be at 5:57 a.m. And that is the latest weather. And now, as you wrap up our major news package for today, Wednesday, 29th August 2018, let us take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, a new Deputy Governor General from Nevis to be sworn in on Friday, and Taiwan continues its support to the agriculture sector here on Nevis. Regionally, Hurricane Maria caused an estimated 2,975 deaths in Puerto Rico, a new study finds. Internationally, Russia's Putin softens pension reforms after outcry. And in sports, Warriors defeats Patriots and now at the head of the Hero CPL table. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Marvin Ross, and I'm wishing you a pleasant evening.